I feel like a fraud sometimes. And I used to feel like a fraud much more. There are some things that really helped, something that I have been, battling with and developing, like my own system of fighting it. Plus, this new concept of retardmaxxing has helped a lot. Like it's like a cherry on top of a cake. I've started my career on YouTube 12 years ago, had a pretty successful channel. It was 150,000 subscribers, 16 million views. I was like 20 years of age and I was quite satisfied with it. But then I dropped it. Like I stopped putting videos 3 years into the road and I haven't touched it since. And the reason why I haven't touched it is that despite the subscriber count growing, despite the revenue from the channel growing, I just thought that, hey, I'm just making some garbage. Like, I don't want to make those kind of videos. And just so you understand, when I was getting started on that channel, it was taking me about 2 months to make one video. And when I was posting it, I was still thinking that there is something not good with it. And after I released the next video, I look back at this video and I'm like, this video is not good enough. Looking back, I'm very, appreciative of the fact that I've started doing that. And I actually think I did pretty well, especially for a 20-year-old. But still, when I was in the process, it's like this weird thing that it's very contradictory, and there's two parts in me. One part is like, hey, you gotta make the best product. You gotta be Christopher Nolan. You gotta be, I don't know who else can bring up as an example. Elon Musk. You have to build something truly amazing. But then the other part of me is telling me, hey, 99% of people that are noticeable, not the 99% of people in the world, but only those that are noticeable, which I believe in reality they are about half of the people, approximately, maximum. So they're just doing something. Like if I go to YouTube nowadays, even if we take some big creators and big names, it's just fluff. Like it's not tangible. It's nothing real. Like I don't. They're doing a good job. Like it's great that they have hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands, millions of subscribers. But it's like, unless we take like Mr. Beast, who is putting tons of effort into his videos, those other people, they are like quite average. Like, okay, their background looks cool, they dress well, their hair is perfect, the skin is amazing. The sound is good, the camera quality is good, but it's like, it feels like that's it. Like, there's nothing else. Literally. It's just the setup. And I still see people watching them and being grateful and thanking them and just kind of, being impressed. It's like Inception. Christopher Nolan's Inception. He put a lot of effort into it. That's something that I've been always aspiring to be, and that's something that I was. But I noticed that the world was not paying for that, and the world is definitely not paying for it right now. Like it's taking 2 months to make a YouTube video. What I realized is that before you're able to put a lot of time and effort into something, you've got to validate it first against the market. You have to do the market research. You have to make sure that's what people want. Because it's not about you, it's not about me. It's not like, hey, I want this video and I'm gonna do it, for 2 months so nobody watches it. That's called hobby. And that's a good thing to do. But the thing about the real world is that quality only matters once you get to the top. For example, Christopher Nolan has been making one after another magnificent movies. And now, with his latest movie, Oppenheimer, and then the Odyssey that is coming up, he can do whatever he wants. He has the name. He doesn't need to prove to anybody that he's a great director. He can just have fun with it, and for him, it's very important to win Oscars right now, Academy Awards. So he's going for it. But look at his first movie. I don't even remember its name. It was some like a very short movie. I think it was 8 minutes long. And then there was Memento. It was a great movie too, but if you ask Christopher Nolan whether that's his best work, or if you ask an average person, or if you ask an audience in general, which movie have they watched the most, Memento is definitely not on number one. Because it was a market research for him. He was just getting started. And there are two types of people in this world. The first group is the one that just goes for quantity, and they just produce movie after movie after movie after movie, if we talk about movies or videos or whatever, products. And then there's like Chinese cars, or phones. And then there's the second group of people that focuses on quality. And I think both of these groups of people are wrong. I definitely belong to the second one. I've been always pro quality. Like, hey, if you do something, you gotta do it well. But we are both wrong. At least in the current world that we are living in, where basically in order to make it, you have to, first of all, do, as they say, what people want, when in reality it's not really what people want, but what people are susceptible to. So when you're just getting started, the very important thing that I've learned to do is that you just have to go for the quantity. And the thing is that if you're smart and if you go for a quantity, you're gonna appear much, in a much more impressive role than an average person does. Even if you think you're doing something stupid, like I think that this video I'm making right now, it's very stupid. Like I would much rather put 2 months of work and make one great video, but the funny reality is that it doesn't matter, like the results are gonna be pretty much the same. It doesn't matter if I put 2 months, or if I put 1 day, or if I put 5 hours into the video. The results are more or less the same, because what matters is the packaging. What matters is the marketing, not the quality of the product. Quality of the product only matters, like if you're selling something, once people buy it, and it determines the quantity of refunds that you have. But it doesn't determine whether somebody buys it or not. Marketing and sales determines whether somebody buys it or not, because people are very stressed, and marketing and sales helps a lot. So we just kind of have to accept that we live in this kind of world. The thing that helped me is, first of all, there are two things that I just came up to my head. The first one that helped is starting to do sales, telemarketing specifically, because when you do like 100 to 200 calls every day, you kind of stop caring about the quality. You just get tired enough, and you're just kind of learning about the people, and learning that people are not like, you don't need to devise this plan, complicated strategy to sell something to people. It's much more simpler. You don't need to be smart to sell. And once you reach the levels of Christopher Nolan or Elon Musk, you can do whatever you want, anything. But before you can get there, you have to work hard. And it doesn't matter what you do. You don't have to go work as a construction worker, or as a taxi driver, or as a waiter, or as an IT person. It could be anything, but you have to win with the quality. You can record YouTube videos, you can make video games, you can make, teach people how to, trade, or like it could be anything, like whatever comes to your mind. We live in a very stupid world, and if you get to the right state, and you just stop caring, just honestly, like seriously, you just have to feel like that you are making a shitty product and accept it. Every time I make something, I'm like, nah, it's not good enough. Every time I show it to my friends, they're like, why aren't you doing more of that, you stupid? Put it out there, publish it. You're so good at it. That's what they're saying. But I think, like, whenever they're telling that to me, I'm saying to them, yeah, thanks, like, I appreciate that. But what I'm actually thinking is that, what are you talking about? That's like the most basic, like, anybody could do that. But the thing is that, look, turns out not anybody can do it. And it's ridiculous. I want to see better quality products in the world, and probably you too, but in order to make that happen, we have to get to the level where we are able to do so, and in order to get to that level, we have to produce products that we think are garbage. Because we live in the market economy, in capitalism, you know, the mass market plays a role in whether you're going to be able to deliver your vision to the world or not. And you have to satisfy people like that. Even if it makes you sad, even if it makes you frustrated. What helped me is the telemarketing, as I said. And the other thing that helped me is just going out there and talking to women anywhere. Just go and talk. I just like a girl. Hi. You look so bubbly and adorable. And just talking to her, just like you, whatever you say. Because, you know, women charge me with this energy that, not only women, but it's especially enjoyable to interact with a woman. There are also men like that who are also very, you know, they have pleasurable energy to be around. But with women, it's still more enjoyable, and you just say that and you interact with her, and, you know, life all of a sudden starts to make sense. And then I just realized that, hey, I was thinking too much. I was like, life is not about thinking that much. When I interact with her, I'm like, oh wow, that's what life is about. And immediately I lose this imposter syndrome, and I want to go out into the world and do things as much as possible, you know? But if I just sit at home and work, or, you know, just work, not necessarily at home, then I start to have this like, nah, I'm not good enough. You know, because whether you're good enough, it's determined by your biology. It's not determined by you. It's not like, yes, well, I have made a decision after careful consideration that I'm not good enough. No, it's your biology. If you're living and doing what you're supposed to do by nature, you feel like everything that you're doing is good enough. If you're not doing that, well, you get the opposite. You get the imposter syndrome, you get to feel like you're a fraud. Because these are two different worlds. One world is where you are focusing on depth, and that's good. But the other world is where you're focusing on the output, because you want to create something to be able to, you know, take a girl out on a date, fly her somewhere, spend time with her, have days when you're free and you're completely can be, you know, immerse yourself into her energy. And that's the other thing. So the sales and meeting women, and then the retardmaxxing becomes much easier, which is like step 3, you know, sales, women, retardmaxxing, because then you just do it. You've talked to a lot of people during your sales calls, and you stopped caring that much about the quality and realized that people care about much simpler things than quality. And then you talk to a lot of women, they charge you with this pleasurable energy, and then you don't feel like an imposter anymore, and then you just go and you make a lot of it. And if because you're smart, it's going to be, the content that you're going to be producing is going to be significantly better than what other people are doing. And you're going to be able to devise a strategy that is going to get you more than what other people are utilizing. You know, you take best out of different worlds and you apply it and you create your own world. So if you do those 3 things, that is going to be enough. And also the 4th thing that I'm going to add, which it's important to ingrain into a habit, is meditation. Because life is not perfect. Sometimes when you sell, you're going to have like the slumps. Same with business, same with anything. Sometimes you don't want to meet women, or sometimes you're not in a good enough mood, so your interactions with women are not as enjoyable, especially if you don't have a girlfriend right now or women that you see regularly. And then you gotta do the meditation just to kind of feel alive, to not think all the time. Because sales, women, and meditation, they all help not to get stuck in thinking. Sport also helps, just taking care of your health. You do those things and you feel alive and you can function without a dependence on sales or on women. You can do the retardmaxxing and be a retard without needing to depend on other people, so that they only supplement the foundation that you already have. That's all that I wanted to tell you in this video. That's how I deal with imposter syndrome, with feeling like I'm a fraud, even though I know I'm not, and with producing higher quantity of products as often as other people, but with higher precision, because that's what brains are for. They're not for thinking all the time. They are for using it at certain moments to get an advantage in certain ways. So use your brain for that purpose. Don't get stuck in there. I hope this helped. I'm gonna see you in the next video. It's been Edward. Goodbye.